What are you doing?
Hey. You. Hey.
Okay.
You. Hey, martial arts fans, are you ready to get your guts kicked out? Okay. All right, folks. We're live and in chive. What's that mean?
That means
We're live on the internet program this evening.
kind of oniony.
Yeah. Oniony?
Tuber?
Yeah. It's a good night. We've been having a big old time over here. This is the king of big time business over here. This is the kingdom that big time business lays its head down in sometimes on the weekends.
This is where it begins.
This is where it begins, Friday night, where your weekend takes off like a condor. You ever seen a condor? You ever seen one say that?
Condor passor.
They say them. They talk like that. They sound just like that. You guys ever heard them? Condor?
We get a lot of condors around here.
Oh, more than you want to know about.
You know, we got a raptor center in Charlotte area. You ever been to the raptor center?
I don't think I've been to the Raptor Center.
A lot of raptors.
Hence the name.
Well,
They didn't waste all that fun on it.
When I told Bossman that, I think he thought they were dinosaurs.
You ever seen that Maybe RFD where Howard thinks Howard Sprague thinks there's a dinosaur buried under Goober's gas station?
I can't watch Maybe RFD.
But Goober keeps calling it a dinosaur? Man, that's the funniest shit you've ever heard in your life. Goober, who's what's his name, George Lindsay, saying dinosaur. Speaking of which,
see, you grew up hearing people say that.
No, nobody said dinosaur. If you did, you was in that smaller class, and you guys know what I'm talking about.
Maybe when you went down to Dillon,
no, that's
you might
possible.
hear a little dinosaur.
You know, speaking of dumb shit, I literally made myself laugh out loud today, and I came up with an idea. I'm planning on changing my name to Pizzone. I want to be, from now on, be known as Pizzone Miller. I think Pizzone, and that's P apostrophe.
Like Mikey Pizzone.
Pizzone, P apostrophe Z-O-N-E. Because this was an article Pizza Hut came out with back in the earlier 2000s.
Remember the Pizzone?
Yeah, right.
It was like a calzone, but a pizza just flipped.
You got it, Buster. So I'm going down the highway today, and this guy cuts me off, and I'm like, "Oh, well, go on in there, Pizzone!" And I started laughing, and I bet I laughed for 20 minutes straight, and I thought I was going to have to pull over. I was laughing so hard, and I was like, you know what? I don't value my life a tremendous amount, so I figured I'd just go ahead and change my name over to Pizzone. Pizzone Miller. With the apostrophe and everything. Do you think they charge? Is an apostrophe going to count as a letter when you're paying it out for them? Do you think it's a full price? Full price for apostrophe. Full apostrophe. You think it's the same as a letter?
They give it to you on Wheel of Fortune.
They give it to you on Wheel of Fortune?
Do you remember I texted you this week? I said, "Don't let me forget this." I'm glad you brought up your Pizzone, because it was the idea I had to have me laughing for about 20 minutes. Was I had an idea for a show, a pitch an idea for a show.
Right.
And I think it came to mind because I was seeing a story about the Dakota Indians getting run off the land. And maybe something had run about, I don't know. Anyway, so here it is. He's a Dakota Indian with stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
Fighting for his life and his people.
Oh.
Kimo Sabe.
Oh man. With a substantial dose of interferon, you can get through this movie. That's great.
Anyway, that was my idea. I didn't want it to get out, so now it's out, and Someone will probably run with it.
Copyright.
That
I should trademark.
that butters my garlicky edge, said Pizzone.
Hey, Jay's here. Jay can't stay long. I think we should go ahead and move ahead to a portion of the show.
Hey, Jay, do me a favor while we're doing this. Go on the couch, I got a set of records aside from the big stack of records, and then there's a bag down tucked in there. Don't look in the bag, though.
Just bring
you got
all,
a present
all
in there
shit.
now.
Bring all that shit.
My dig's in a bag.
Your dick in a bag.
And while we got a little opportunity, we'll take care of a little housekeeping, folks. It is unfortunately that time once again. Next week, there will be no record program.
Oh. I'm just getting back into it. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, you're just here for the first time in like a, what we call a coon's age around here. And, but yeah, it is the time of the year that I'm going to be going on call. So I can't drink and, you know.
Sure, you got to be on call. You gotta be at the ready.
And folks that don't know, I did one
right
show where I was like, oh, sober, I'll just, you know, I'll drink some soda pop and we'll listen to records. And, you know, I like music regardless. You know, I listen to music all week long. But no, I don't care for doing a program sober. I don't have to be tore up all the time to have a good time, but I don't have to do a goddamn internet program about it. So, yeah, I like being inebriated when I'm on the record program. So anyhow, next week we won't have us a program, but that's all right. We've been on a pretty good. Yeah, get a mic, Jason. Everybody, people tell you to get a mic. Yeah, everybody's checking out Jay's jeans.
Jay's jeans.
Yeah. So we're gonna give Jay something.
I got something to give Jay.
What's it, Kate?
Hang on.
You know, I was going through my house.
It's a local VCL.
We had a problem at the house, and I've been kind of bummed out for a couple weeks because I noticed while I was working down the basement on doing some install work and doing some post hole digging and shit.
Yeah, that's
I noticed there was some water in the basement near the water heater.
Oh.
And on further inspection, realized that it had rusted out basically, and had to get it replaced. So that was $1,000 down the tube right there. But as I was doing it, I was going through the idea because I knew I had some 8-tracks that were somewhere in the house, and so as I was getting, because I had to fight my way back to the water heater, so much shit like a piano and stuff. I had to move stuff out, and I knew I was going to be doing that, so I'm going to be on an active search for these 8-tracks. Well, I didn't find them, but I did find one. I found one 8-track that I wanted to give you, and it happens to be, it's Henry Mancini's Pure Gold.
Thank you.
It's not the ones I thought that I had, because I have some pretty cool 8-tracks somewhere.
That was yours?
No, it was part of my. I think when I got one of those
collection of records?
I got one of those consoles. It had a spindle, you know, a record player and an 8-track, and it even had a microphone where you could record to 8-track, I guess, or sing along to the music. I don't know what it was.
Parents have one.
Yeah, I eventually got rid of it, but I think that 8-track was with it.
Cool. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, man. But there are some others, and when I find them, I'll bring them to you.
I'll put it on tonight to help me sleep.
You know, and keeping with that, that just neighborly VCLT vibe, something that Jay said he'd be interested in if I ran across it, and I run across it, and it's something that's we've showed on the program before. And it's going to allude to something we're going to talk about a little later as well. You know, that was Kurt Cobain's 50th birthday.
Ooh.
Amazing stuff.
Wow, you know what? He would probably get his first AARP magazine.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Bananas. This is Kurt. The interviews.
It's Kurt. This is sealed from the 90s or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd picked one up for myself, and Jay said he'd be interested in one.
Where'd you find that?
Same place, Salvation Army.
Bought a shit ton of them.
There was like 50 in there, and I was like, later I was like, oh, I was stupid for not buying all 50, because this is, I mean, really.
Like $1 each or something.
Because
50 cents each.
$1 each. And the next time I went in there, They had none, and I'm like,
So
oh
somebody
shit.
had your idea and bought all of them.
Yep. This is one that was still floating in the stack several months later.
They've got about 50 cases in the back, probably.
Yeah, if I was you, I'd keep that seal.
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
Is it sealed?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sealed. It's like a bootleg.
I love it when you say yeah, but there's a little laugh in it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this official? Yeah. You know.
I don't know anything about that, to be honest
look
with
up on
you. Did you hold that guy
Discogs.
substantially?
Jay, do some research on that.
I'll look on Discogs when I.
That's too far away. You get up in there. You get up in there, Jay.
He's got a price tag on his nose.
Yeah, he does. I'm gonna go to a picture of Kurt. That we're gonna bring him some later because it was crazy. I mean, thinking about.
Thank you.
Kurt was such a big part of my music life growing up. Right when I started jamming with Jay, I mean, Nirvana and Kurt Cobain was probably about the biggest thing in my entire life at the time, other than Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. But it was
boiled peanuts.
And boiled peanuts. That's okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
But it was crazy because that was such a. This is the guy that I drew pictures of him on notebooks and I looked up to see what kind of cigarettes he smoked and shit like that. He was my John Lennon.
So you were at that age.
Yeah.
It's very impressionable.
One of the reasons I stopped.
How old were you?
Stopped being all churchy, started being all rock and rolly, and was Kurt Cobain. And I just
Let's see.
junior into senior
80, 90, what year?
was really post-mortem. I mean, I liked Nirvana.
Oh, post-mortem,
Yeah,
okay.
93, 94. Okay. So right after he died, it's when I liked him before, but that's when I like really, really bought crazy shit, like this poster. And I got a big poster of Kurt. It's one of those huge posters. It says, I hate myself when I want to die at the bottom. It's like the huge poster. I've had that since spring break, my senior year, I guess. But yeah, so I was a big fan. It was a big deal. And to think of him being 50 years old, that's kind of a weird thing.
I thought he'd be older.
Yeah, 10. He's officially 10 years older than I am.
Jay says he thinks he'd be older.
No, I mean, I knew he was born, but
I think he'd be like in his mid-50s.
He'd be fit. He'd get his first invitation to join AARP. I mean, he'd probably accept it because you get some really good discounts.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy though. I mean, I can't even register Kurt as a 50-year-old man. Yeah, she's real hot too. Frances Bean Cobain.
Frances. Mm-hmm.
All right. What am I leaving out about it?
So much.
All of it?
People died.
Oh, hey, check this out.
People lived.
You know who else passed this way this week? Passed this away.
Oh no, I'm never gonna pass this way again.
The funky drummer, man.
The funky drummer.
You ever heard of Clyde Stubblefield?
I think I have.
He is James Brown's funky drummer. Known for all those just crazy drum breaks. The king of the funk drum break. Man, it was sampled by numerous hip-hop people like throughout the course of early hip-hop. Became the quintessential funk break. I mean, this cat was known for...
He wasn't the Amen break, or he wasn't...
No, he was the most famous...
he wasn't in the Funk
drum
Brothers.
part.
He was in the JBs?
You know, I don't know. I would assume it doesn't really say that.
Playing drums for James Brown, I would assume he's in the JBs.
Huh?
What song?
The Amen break.
So,
Boom, boom, boom.
well, if you don't know what it is, I found this random cat on YouTube playing it. So listen. Yeah, that. Woo! Hey, 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 hey. You. That's the beat though, man. And Funky Drummer died this week.
That's a beat.
You know, I think it was really, what you call them? What's a hip hop group? Fear of a Black Planet.
Public Enemy?
Public Enemy. They sampled them, and that became like, it became like hip hop gold after that, and it ended up kind of being "Do the Right Thing" was kind of like the theme song, but kind of repeated throughout the movie. I mean, big time business, and that little simple drum beat, which seems so mundane nowadays, but was such an integral part of music history. That one little fucking drum break, man. That one funky drummer. Doing that one funky
I might just keep the beat up the rest of the show while you do.
I used to do this. If you're you know me, you know I'm a fan of the Chips from back in the '70s, and
I'm so bummed right now. MeTV's showing Chips with that other guy.
Oh yeah, and Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner. That's officially called Caitlyn Jenner. And
tonight was the episode, or today was the episode where that Ponch's partner, what's his name? The second guy. The good-looking guy, the blonde
guy.
Whatever. His brother, Ricky, played by Ricky Schroeder, I think, infiltrates the high school to try and break up the chop shop job.
Oh, I know that. I know that episode. It's not Ricky Schroeder.
That's not Ricky Schroeder?
That's too young. He was a young kid.
Well, you know who I'm talking about, that blonde kid.
Ricky. He looks like Rick Nelson.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But anyhow, what the hell was I talking about?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
No, in the middle of, when Chips would start.
Chips.
They would do a little thing, and then all of a sudden you'd hear this.
And that's when you see the bikes on the highway.
Yep, and then
but you know what, the thing about Chips?
But I kept that going.
Every show starts with a major motor, like cars crossing in the air, doing a flip, landing on their tops, and exploding. Like every show begins with a crazy,
and they're all going 20 miles an hour
wreck on the highway.
No, but listen, when I back in the early 2000s, I was watching Chips, and I did that. So when something happened in the beginning, and then
boom, boom, boom.
Okay, so I keep this going through the whole episode, and then
what's that look like on TV?
And then some. But something else happens. It's all dialogue, and then the music comes back in. The whole entire hour.
You did that the whole show?
I did it the entire show.
Your mom's like, I'm not going in there.
And every time the music came, because the music went away and it would come back. Every time it came back,
it was right there.
Right in the pocket. Every time.
They probably laid it down and then erased what they didn't need.
That's what I said. I didn't say that.
There's a little tip for you right there.
I was trying to take credit for your comment.
You want to figure out how to do something like that.
I don't care about it. We got some other stuff to talk about. The death of Larry Coryell, very sad, and we'll bring that up here a little bit later for some stuff. Do you? And I'll leave you a little teaser. Do you believe in music kismet? I mean, do you think things just kind of fall into place sometimes?
Sometimes they do.
Whether you listen to music or digging for records or whatever, that sometimes things just kind of work out because
personally, I think music is holy ground. So
that's kind of so it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility.
Desecrate it, but it's holy ground for me.
But
that's all I'm saying. What was that?
I think it sounded like a lighter.
No, we don't need lighters around here.
No, we don't need a lighter.
Oh, it's a good one too.
That's Jay's. He's a yellow man. You can have it.
We'll just leave it. We'll keep it right here. This house needs a backup.
Yeah. All right. Hey, this was a dig of the week I picked up for 75 cents a few weeks ago.
75 cents.
10-wheel.
It's a bargain bucket.
Bargain bucket. Double B. 10-wheel.
There might be a few bargain buckets in there.
With Virginia Raven, construction #1. It's that first 10-wheel drive.
10-wheel drive?
It was pretty good.
Grass? What is that?
No, it's a rock and roll album, female singer.
Looks like there's a Chicago element. There's horns.
Think of Janis Joplin.
Okay.
But much more on the jazzier side of the rock.
I'm thinking, okay, her underarms don't stink so bad then, what you're saying.
Yeah, she was much more of a jazz singer at times than Janis was.
Wow, there's someone named Aram.
No, Jay. Jay's leaving everybody. Show's over. I'm cutting it off.
This is not a well-known.
Nope, I'm reaching. I'm cutting everything off. No, I'm cutting it off. Where's the button? I can't find the button.
Who's Genya of Ravan? Do you know that?
I don't know
Anything about this group?
No.
See ya, Jay.
Oh, wait a minute. Do I? No, I don't know nothing about it.
I know you're... Oh, sorry, your gatefold's stuck together.
Is that what that ripping noise was?
What was that all about? Here's a cool shot of them like playing some state fair.
Yeah. Notice they're not showing the crowd.
There's the guy from Spinal Tap right there.
Yeah, these, yeah, I don't know. I don't know nothing about anybody.
Is it good? I don't know what it sounds like because I wasn't here.
It was worth 75 cents. Brohammer says, Pizzone not funny sober. I'll work on it, man. I'll work. It's spontaneous. I got to work on it. I'm going to change my name.
Kimosabe. You can't deny Kimosabe.
I'm going to change my name to Pizzone. Remember Damone in what's the
Damone. What's happening now?
Oh no! Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh,
the scalper, Damone. He was always like moving while he was talking.
Oh, that guy. The guy that screwed.
Damone.
What's her face?
Yeah, in the dugout. Yeah. No, different. That's a different guy. That's the guy from the sound store where people sell sound speakers. That's a different guy. That's not Damone. No Damone. This show's stupid. I ain't watching it. I may post this shit tomorrow, but I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
We should watch Fast Times.
Yeah, we should do that. Does the sun really shine on the moon? Gary McFarlane and Company. It's a Gary McFarlane on Sky Records, not on Verve. Very cool stuff though. 68.
68.
That I recorded. I almost said that I recorded yesterday. Then none of that would have made any sense to anybody ever about anything.
There's a black guy smoking on the back.
Yeah, there is. I meant to mention that. I saw that earlier.
Y'all know the rules.
You know the rules.
We're not going to talk about it.
We don't even have to say it.
He's a double bass player too.
Oh.
I can respect that.
You know, like
these white guys are like, yeah, get us in here too.
Yeah.
Not as cool as this guy.
No way.
Get us in here too.
A
little sketch art.
I wanted to start doing a thing where I played a Zappa album every week, at least a side of an album. I could totally get into that.
You could probably be doing that for like 80 weeks.
Well, no, I mean just in my collection or whoever's collection. This is Zappa, Mothers of Invention, one size fits all. And I was shelving some records earlier, and I was like, I don't know that I played side 2 of this. What a tremendous record! I mean, for crying out loud. I was trying to clear out some of the stuff. I'm sorry, Derek. Some of the stuff you see in front of you here. I mean, I cleaned out this whole middle pile. I still got that pile and this pile to go. It's so hard. Everything's like backwards, bro.
I'm gonna move up a little bit now that Jay left, and that way.
You stealing Jay's space?
No, not really. I guess I could have moved here regardless, but.
Irregardless.
No, there's no such word.
Irregardless. That's the best word ever that anybody's ever said.
There, I can show records now.
Yeah.
That's the back. Sorry.
Steve's space.
There's a couch on the front.
Another, similar to that record when I was shelving records, I found this Coltrane quartet.
The art reminds me of Terry Gilliam a little bit.
It does. It does look like Terry Gilliam. This Coltrane quartet on Impulse, part of the MCA Impulse thing. McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison, Elvin Jones is on this, and it's from our my alma mater's radio station, actually. So I may have actually listened to this actual album. And Jay and I was talking about that earlier.
You're sitting there as a kid going, I will own you one day.
Well, you know, this may be, you know, I watch, you guys know I like the video games, and I watch this show called The Game Chasers on YouTube. And there was a time where the dude was looking in this store, and the guy was like, was making maybe piles, and I'm going to buy all these and whatever. And he's like, he had this sign, and he was like, hey, where'd you get this sign? It was like, oh, from this place in Texas called Jar Nintendo. And dude is like, that's where I used to rent all my video games.
What do you know about this Virgin Vinyl sticker on here?
I don't know about that.
It says KM, Burbank, California. Custom pressed on KC 569 blend premium Virgin Vinyl audio file.
I call that JV vinyl.
I call that an interesting sticker.
I call it JV vinyl. No, but what I was saying was they realized that the store that they were shopping in was populated 3/4 by the store the dude used to rent his video games from when he was a little kid.
Really?
So all these video games he was piling up to buy could possibly have been the ones, and probably were the ones that he rented when he was a kid. And he's not even in the same freaking state.
Right.
Bonkers. Love it. Oh my God, I cried. I read that story in the paper and I cried.
What story?
What? I'm trying to make a good internet program. I had a request for a little Jack White, so I pulled out a little Icky Thump, little White Stripes Icky Thump. Which Icky Thump, the track is, it's probably my favorite White Stripes, and I love a lot of White Stripes. But Shane requested a little bit of that, and I jumped all over that.
Icky Thump.
Was it the Brohammer? I think it was Shane. It was Shane requested that.
Cool sticker. You had to break that, didn't you, to get into it?
I did. I had to bust that sticker.
That's cool.
Somebody's old Bill over here is quoting Kimo Sabe already. You know, it's a hard knock life, folks. I don't make the rules. I just play the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, what am I digging the least from last week? My Rubber Soul I've been waiting on for so damn long. $8, which is right in my wheelhouse for like, all right, I'll pay that for a record I want. And we listened to the first side tonight. Not too bad. When the songs
Did you show that last week? You showed it last week.
Yeah, I did. When the songs aren't playing, you hear a little circle crackle. Circle.
So that's a Winchester
crackle.
pressing, is that correct?
Yes, Winchester pressing. From the early 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool, man. I ain't mad at that at all. That's the first time I listened to it tonight. First time you, first time me.
Sounded good to me.
In my huge stack of records over here, I've been trying to think of the name of this group for a little while. And I had Jay helping me shelf some records earlier, and when he pulled the record back to stick the other record down, I saw this little short guy in there, and I saw the back of it. I'm like, grab that. That's the one I've been looking for. It's something I picked up. It's a 10-inch I picked up. Worst. A tuna sub. You guys eat submarine sandwiches?
Friday's his sub day.
You guys into submarines? I had
You put onions on your sub?
Tuna and onion is a great sub.
Dude, that's tough. Especially on...
You guys ever done tuna and onion?
You do. How long is your sub? 10
Well,
inch?
this was just a Subway. This was just a Subway.
Okay. You didn't go to Harris Teeter today?
Oh, I was at the FAR. I was on breaking news all day.
Okay.
It was a situation.
You know what you should have done?
What should have?
You went down that way, didn't you?
Ashby.
You should have gone to Mike's Hot Dogs. And gotten a Chicago dog.
Totally, but I was
Oh, dude.
I was literally. I didn't have.
Gotta go there.
I didn't have a sip of water all day till 5 p.m.
Y'all can talk about the Cubs.
Yeah.
Can he talk about the Cubs with you?
Does he sell beer on it?
I don't know.
I don't care. No. All right, look. I found this. I've been trying to remember the name of this. A Japanese band that plays like this garage animal style,
It's Tully's garage
Kingsman style
music.
And I found it. And the name of the group is Mad 3. And I had no idea. I couldn't remember what the name of the shit was.
Japanese, you said?
Yeah. So it's in my stack, and it's a short guy, so I can't even that's it. It's disappeared in
You
there.
should put in your world music area.
No.
I'm just kidding.
It's rock and roll, baby.
I'm just kidding.
Rock and roll.
It's good.
And they even list what made me buy it. They list fuzz pedal on the back. But they list when they're listing credits, something they say something about fuzz. In their thanks. And other thanks too.
I guess these are the members of the band. Eddie, Legendary Heroes, plays only fuzz guitar. Haruto plays thunder bass, and Kyo plays smash the drum kit. I'm
assuming we're losing a little bit in translation, but maybe not.
I guess so.
They could just be stupid. That happens too. DOT dub from last week.
This is from Estrus Records, by the way.
Estrus?
Estrus.
I got a lot of Estrus.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
This is top tier record for me. Picked up last week. Listened to side 1 after the show last week. side 2 tonight. Little pops in there, but I got a great deal on this because this is a pretty pricey record. That Blues in My Bottle, Lightning Hopkins. Folks, I don't know how much better it gets than that. I'll be honest with you. That has it all. And that cover,
I would say
that
on a
cover
Friday
has it
night,
all.
it's a little slow. But it's still.
I think blues can be a little slow.
Blues
though.
can be a little slow. And they don't even wait to put the guy smoking a cigarette on the back. He's right on the front. Like,
damn right.
Here it is, man.
FNC, double time.
See how long this ash can get on this mug.
Threat level midnight. FNC, Crowman Squaw. That's a big time business right there.
Some good songs on here. We listen to side 2, you say?
I am risky business. I am the cold-blooded sausage maker.
He's got a song on here called Beans, Beans, Beans.
Yeah, damn right he does. What's that all about, Steve?
I think I was just playing some one-offs. I had a plan, but I didn't really follow the plan.
That's all right.
It's all right, whatever.
It's all right.
So we listened to, what do we hear?
Tell me on it.
Jack You Off, Jack You Off.
No.
This is off Prince's Controversy album.
Language. A lot of language going on.
Not too much language.
A little bit of language.
A little bit of language. Jack is a name. You is you. Off is not on. But yeah, this is a great album.
Yeah. You busted that out. I was going to play Relics tonight, I told you, and you actually came strong with
I really
this.
like the mix on this. I recently picked up a
That's one of the new reissues, right?
A pretty decent older reissue, but this is the new reissue that came out last year, I guess. Lucifer Sam's one of my favorite early tracks. It's just got this, like you called it spy music.
Yeah. Totally spy music. James Bondish kind of shit.
Their first album. Great album. Fantastic. Set the tone for great things to come.
Yeah. Man, and I told you as soon as you put this shit on.
Here was my plan. My plan was my daughter's really into skating right now, like going to skate rinks and skating. And that's kind of cool. And I remember, the fun thing to me about skating is the music you would hear. And they still play some of it. Some of it just never will die. It's skate music to the bone. I think Daz is a good example. Well, by Brick.
Yeah.
It's like
Brick, Daz Band. Disco without being disco. Bum, bum. You want that?
Yeah.
Bum, bum,
So
bum,
I was
bum.
like, man, I want to play a whole set of just like music you could skate to. So even Lucifer Sam, to me, I could fucking skate to it. Don't get me wrong. What did I start with? Oh, I started with Prince. Yeah. So Bertha Butt Boogie, it's a great song.
Told you.
You could totally skate to it.
Somebody was already like, oh, Bossman in the house.
If you play it, you think, oh, Bossman's in it. No, he's not in the house. I just wanted to play this. And it's a great song either way. And Bossman had it right. It's a great song.
He's here in spirit.
He might be
Holy
listening.
Spirit.
Holy Spirit. Holy Shnikes. After that, I played a little Compared to What? Woo! By this group Mushroom. I think they're out of San Francisco.
That's like my favorite song ever.
And it's Weed Records. It's on a green, like, weed colored record.
Weed, bro.
This is a pretty cool record. There's actually some pretty crazy stuff on a few of the tracks. That's very.
The Compared to What's pretty cool though.
Psychedelic noise kind of stuff, but yeah, great kind of traditional.
You know, it's funny to this day. Like when the girlfriend asks me every other day, it's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, compared to what?
And I was going to play another track on this, but I decided Trans Europe would kind of fit at that moment. So
in between my ear and my throat's itching.
Kraftwerk. Trans Europe Express. This is a reissue that came out. Was it a couple years ago, I think? It's a parlophone, cling clang. It's that whole cling clang.
I got it.
What are you doing back there?
In between my throat and my ear itches.
Which,
you know that
cling clang, they released it in '77, I believe. And this is, as an American, this is all I knew Kraftwerk for the longest time before I could get into what the hell was going on. Everybody heard Trans Europe Express when it came out, and it was like, that is so different than anything else on the radio. I mean, growing up at that time in life, I think I just moved to Georgia, and it was like, that sort of was playing. It's like, I've never heard anything like that before.
You had similar stories about Laurie Anderson when Superman was kind of like a little thing that you'd hear on the radio, but it was like, I mean, that was so bonkers for everything else that was on Top 40 at the time.
Right.
Was that a Top 40 hit?
No,
No?
I don't think so. But it was on MTV. See, that was the difference. Once you had MTV,
yeah,
it opened a whole new world.
Hey, you wanted to play some Volta, and I'm like, hey, Steve, if you want to play Volta, I told somebody on the chat, I was like, I would play this every week. One of the best presents I ever got from the girlfriend.
Yeah, I would say of all your records, this is the one I kind of covet the most.
Oh, my God. That is risky business.
In Sitare, is that how you say that?
In Qatar?
In Qatar?
I don't know.
In Sitare? I don't know. Danny Carey and company. And this is, I was like, man, I want to hear Volto because it's just so damn cool. And I was like, I'm done. Let's just listen to this.
Now I follow it. The only thing I can akin it to, or closer, Porcupine Tree or like the Steven Wilson stuff, for sure. It's kind of in that same vein. If you guys have not checked out Volta, it's Danny Carey from Tool, his little prog effort, still playing drums, but it still has that little bit of an edge to it. So it's not straight fusion-y prog where it's kind of wussified. It's still got some beef behind it, but still maintains a certain musical je ne sais quoi that lends itself to proper toe management when it involves most of everybody. You ever seen one of them?
Yeah.
You ever
I keep my toes pretty
You ever
tight.
seen music?
I keep my toes pretty tight.
Oh, I played this. Speaking of girlfriend, she got me this guy too. This big deluxe reissue of Bleach a few years ago.
Great.
And we
gatefold.
played the live tracks in there. And look at that gatefold in there too. And I can't remember where in this, for the Kurt's 50th birthday, one of my favorite jams. And the live stuff, we played the recorded stuff a lot too, but this had Sappy on it. Sappy's such a good song. Does it say, like, real quickly and accessible on the back where that live shit was recorded?
Sub Pop Records.
Nope.
No.
No. I want to say it was in Seattle and, like...
there might be some information on the inside.
Some evergreen...
A booklet? Maybe a booklet?
Oh, it's a huge booklet. It's got tons of great pictures in that booklet.
All right, then what can you tell me about it?
Look at that shit.
God knows there's no word.
I want to say it's what, Evergreen
No
University?
oh, here we go. Keep talking.
I think it's Evergreen or Ever something University. Everett University in Tacoma or Olympia. Well, I went to school in Olympia.
Bleach recorded in Seattle at Reciprocal Recordings by Jack Endino for $600.
Bruce Pohlman and the other live.
Pine Street Theater show recorded February 9th, Portland, Oregon.
Oh.
So the live show is probably in Portland.
Pine Street Theater?
Pine Street Theater.
Okay, cool.
Mixed by Jack Endino.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a Sub Pop guy. Oh man, it's a terrific live effort for sure.
Originally released June of '89.
We're gonna do a shot? You got a shot poured here.
I got a shot. Let's do it for Kurt Cobain.
Let's do it for Kurt Cobain.
That was a good time.
Man, I've never loved a man so much. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
Even though it didn't...
Get you a sconch of lime?
I didn't. Even though the music I didn't end up
some
playing...
Where's the salt? The salt's over here. I got it.
I didn't end up playing music like Nirvana necessarily throughout my large and varied music career. I always kept those ideals that I learned as a young teenageman. That I learned some of those punk rock ideals that Kurt exhibited for a new generation in the 90s.
And everyone knows the legend of your mother and you sitting down and listening, and she was helping you with the chords.
Yeah, on Nirvana Unplugged.
It's legend now.
Pausing VHS tapes and learning chords that Kurt played. She respected that.
So
didn't know shit about it.
Here's to Kurt Cobain and your mom.
Well, now I was going to say now I want to do it to my mom, but
excuse me?
Kurt.
Oh.
Tastes like sunshine. You ever tasted sunshine?
I think if I If anything, it would taste like tequila.
Sunshine?
No, it would taste like oranges. Sorry, tequila.
Or a butt belch.
So,
what's that all about?
I would think I was ready for the show because we'll put Kirk in and then we'll do the show. We weren't ready, so I threw on this Gong Camembert Electronique.
Is this part of that box set thing?
No, this
No,
actually
different.
This actually came out before, and this is a reissue that came out like last year, and everybody's like, "Oh, you should never buy those because they didn't get any money, whatever." Anyway, go blow it.
Blow it.
I never get to listen to this music unless I, purchase this album. So,
Yeah.
well, you should listen on YouTube. Well, guess what? The guy on YouTube's like ripping them off as well. So what are you gonna do? Do you want to listen to Gong or do you not want to listen to Gong? I want to listen to Gong.
You blow up buildings, Steve. That's what you do. If you're a crazy man, but not a sane person would do that.
To me, you know what Gong is to me? And I think I've said this. Gong is Soft Machine
Yeah.
meets Frank Zappa.
Frank.
It's so Zappa.
I was thinking Zappa had to be in there somewhere.
If you know this, Frank Zappa was with them on their first performance. He came introduced them out to the crowd in France. It was some concert, and I think it might be the same concert where you see on YouTube. There's Frank Zappa and Pink Floyd playing something together live.
Oh, that's
I
right.
think it's at that same festival, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Was it the Brie Festival? When they take pictures, do they say Brie? Is that what they say? No, fromage. And European vacation, they say fromage. All right, what's that all about?
You can't get a good smell with fromage, though.
No, fromage.
Moving pictures.
My daughter has too many moles. Is that how French people say it? They talk about how many moles.
1981
their daughters
Polydor Mercury Records, right?
My daughter had too many
Mercury.
moles. I would. Nope.
We put on side 2. We didn't get too far into it before we switched over for the show, but I wanted to put something on.
No moles.
And everybody always listens. We always throw side 1 on because it's got all the hits or whatever.
Right.
And it's prog bands. It's funny that prog band has hits, but they have hits.
And
With
moles.
side 2's Camera Eye, Witch Hunt, and Vital Signs, and I think we maybe got into Camera Eye.
How many moles do you think they have
I don't know if we got into
collectively?
Witch Hunt.
I bet they got
How
a
many
bunch
moles?
of them. Collectively.
Well, Canadians don't get moles. Did you know that?
Canadians don't get no moles?
No.
All right.
No, that's what makes them so cool.
Yeah, we're going into Dig of the Week. You got your record albums ready for it?
I've only got a couple.
Okay. I've got you know what? Here's what happened to me about it. Kind of a weird week. I picked up some records last week, and I didn't show everything last week. Admittedly. Hey, would you hand me a beer, Steve? Because I scored so many, and so I'm like, oh, I've got a little cachet of records that so I don't need to think like I gotta. Oh, I'm doing an internet show, so I got to make sure I got enough records to talk about on the show. It's not what this is about, and if I keep doing this every week, I'll have so many damn records. Judas Priest wouldn't know what to do with them. Did you hear my Judas Priest joke, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I got a good stack of records, and so I can do some of them. I did some of them last week, I can do some this week, and I don't have to buy records this week. Oh, but this week had a great little thrifting week. Some VHS tapes and video games.
Oh no.
All stuff.
You're getting away from vinyl so much.
No, but I get that too. I mean, I'm not getting away from it because, like I said, I picked up 13 records this week in addition to the stuff I had cached from last week. But I'm also picking up VHS tapes and video games and stuff like that. And that's some stuff I'm going to do in a little separate video, perhaps, coming up in a little different series we're going to do on the channel, perhaps. And for names, I'm thinking, here's some names I'm knocking around, Steve. The Thrift Drift.
Thrift Drift?
Yeah. Or I could say, and I could put...
Well, not in the bargain bucket.
I could put a colon, the Thrift Drift, Knuckle Deep... No, what was it? Knuckle Deep in the Thrift Heap. That's probably the one you use. Knuckle deep in the thrift heap. So it's not just records, it's all this crazy shit I'm finding every week. So I got a lot of stuff. I was able to stop at 2, 4, 6, 7. I mean, not as much as I was a couple weeks ago where I was up to like 13, 14 thrift stores in a week. But I stopped at a good 8 to 10 this week.
Dang.
So I got all kinds of stuff. So I was like, I'm not buying records, but I went in this place, had tons of records.
Stockpiling.
Tons of records.
Really?
Yes.
Where is this at?
It's a GW. It's an old GW. HPR GW. So anyhow, Consuelo. I ended up picking 13 records up this week. And the record, I'm not going to pick up records. So I got a huge stockpile. So this week, but like I was talking about earlier, do you believe in record kismet, music kismet, stuff that just kind of happens because it happens, and that's why the way music works out. It's crazy. Here on the show, we have played in the past years. There's a record. I was going to hold it up earlier. It's Alphonse Mouzon and Larry Coryell back together again for the first time. Back together again. It's got the little Eggman on the front, the Humpty Dumpty looking thing. Mm-hmm. Well, Larry Coryell passed away this weekend.
Yes, he did.
Or this week. He is pretty much the godfather of fusion music as we know it. And really in that vein of like the John McLaughlin, that jazz rock, 70s. Did a lot of stuff with Chick Corea.
Right.
And so he passed away. And I knew of him because of that record, and I've listened to his shit, and he was a badass guitar player. He was playing gigs like right up until he died. He really wasn't in the public spotlight, but he was out like still just playing, and he thought that was like his thing. You know, if he's able to play and he knows that he's got some skills for real, that he kind of owed it to himself and the fact that he knew how to do that to go play it for people. It seems like a basic concept, but it's like he knew that he was like, if I can still do this, I'm supposed to go do this in front of people, and they're supposed to clap for me. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things. But so I was very familiar with him, but a couple records I got, he played some other people's shit, blah blah blah. So I'm digging through this one place this week, and all of a sudden, I run into the Larry Coryell. Just look at this. He played in this. In addition to playing with different people in the 70s, he had this legendary fusion group, the 11th House, and I picked up the first one, a real water damaged cover, and this is like let me see here. I was gonna look at this. This is like 74, but the record is in pretty good shape. It's got a little cleaning up you can do. It's on Vanguard. Mm-hmm. But look at that. I've never seen this ever before.
Yeah, 11th House was a band he formed like.
But seriously, man.
One of the Brecker brothers is in it.
Really?
Randy Brecker. You've got that Brecker brother?
I love the Brecker brothers. But listen, man. In all the like looking in record stores, looking in thrift stores, yard sales, whatever, I have never seen this record or anything by the 11th hour. 11th House, sorry. Ever. And I see that, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Larry Coryell. He just died. And I find that, and then I find this shit. The 11th House featuring Larry Coryell, Level 1, which is the second record.
Oh, crap.
Right behind it. Came in the, this is like a...
I like the cover on the first one better. It looks kind of disco on this one.
This is 75, so it's right after that.
Look at him. Look at Larry Coryell.
Oh, dude, hey
everybody, I like drugs.
Such a weird guy. You know what? And that leads me to my next record, Steve, is that I picked this record up, and you guys may have seen this floating around out in the wild. It's this thing called Passion, Grace, and Fire. It's John McLaughlin, Al Di Meola, and Paco de Lucia.
Paco de Lucia. This is the guitar trio, which Larry Coryell, Al Di Meola
filled in because
he replaced Larry Coryell because Larry Coryell had a drug problem.
So there you go. There's your drug reference.
I've got, and the funny thing is, I've got that live in San Francisco, the guitar trio, which is this same group, Al Di Meola, Paco de Lucia.
They're incredible. I mean,
it is, yeah. And John McLaughlin.
It may not be Grown Man Record Night type shit, but it's pretty.
Yeah, it's up there.
But it's good stuff. I mean, it's just not upbeat is the thing. Now, and
but neither is Lightning Hopkins. My point.
But
Kyle.
blues though, blues gets a pass on that.
I just sank one in the side pocket.
Huh? Yeah. What's that about?
I did it on.
Huh? You farted on a chair over there?
What? I sank one in the side pocket.
I thought you meant that you farted up there.
No, man.
And sooner or later it was going to get back to our corner pocket.
Side pocket's hard to hit.
We're living in the corner pocket. So if
you can get lucky and hit the corner pocket. You don't get so lucky.
Oh,
in the side pocket.
I've been known to three-rail a bitch. Oh, three-rail a bitch all night. Hey, you guys remember I've done some stuff about a band from Minnesota called Gypsy. It's a psychedelic proggy band.
You broke their record.
Beautiful vertical gatefold. No, I didn't break it. That was Quill.
Broke it.
No. That big vertical gatefold.
Oh, that's a different band.
Yeah, the big vertical gatefold.
Yeah, Gypsy.
And in this, what came of these
I might have that.
earlier this week was earlier this week. The records I just talked about, those Larry Coryell stuff, that was all from just yesterday. This was from that bin. I've got several records from I was up in Underdog in Winston-Salem. Boxes on the floor. Dude was having to clean them and look them up on the computer before he could even tell me how much they were.
He's like, please get up, just leave. So
and some people were going up there. I was like, here's what I got. And so it's like,
oh my God.
And I'm like, hey man, I'm cool.
He shouldn't put his records out like that. Don't put them out until you're ready to put them out.
No, he didn't put them out. Somebody brought crates in. And was like, here we go. And I was like, so is this like fair game? And he was like, yeah. I mean, he wants to sell records.
Sure.
And he gave me a hell of a deal on. But this is one of those Gypsy band from Minnesota. And this is the first album, which I had the second before.
I have this
double
album.
LP, self-titled. Nice gatefold. Look at that guy.
Is it on Metro Media?
From
1970.
Yeah, what's that called? What does it say on it?
I don't know.
You show it off. I can read something about it if you give me a second.
It is on.
What's it on?
Son of a bitch. Your cover's not too good. Yeah, it's Metro Media.
American prog rock band from Minnesota, formed as the Underbeats in 62 to 68. Gypsy was a house band at Whiskey A Go Go, West Hollywood, California, for about 8 months from September 69 to 70. And were known in 1970 for their U.S. Billboard Hot 100 single, Gypsy Queen Part 1 and 2, which is on this shit.
Album. Aren't you the lucky one?
Yeah. Most of Gypsy's music was comprised and written by guitarist and singer Enrico Rosenbaum. Drummer Bill Lorden went on to play with Sly and the Family Stone, and a long career with Robin Trower. Keyboardist James Walsh continued the band in various incarnations as the James Walsh Gypsy Band. Boy, that seems cheap. You can't do that. That's just terrible. Why would you do that? But cool, man. This is kind of a weird record I picked up once before, and I was like, holy shit, this is really good. I love Gypsy. And then he only charged me $1 for this too, because
it's in bad shape.
It's in bad shape. It's got a little crackle.
The vinyl's not in bad shape though.
Yeah, it was a little crackly,
well, yeah,
but
it is.
It's not like throw up.
It's a great dollar record.
Yeah, it's not like a throw up situation. So you do some record albums.
I've got two to talk about. That's all I got. Today I went out over to our Dynasty furniture antique store, and there was some stuff there, but I didn't want to stretch it too much. Like go, oh, well, I'll get this because it's $2 or $3. But I decided I looked at the vinyl. It was in really good shape, and it's Emerson, Lake and Palmer's pictures in an exhibition.
Oh my God, I love that album.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's in pretty darn good condition.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, it's worth $3 or $2, whatever it was.
Did you not have that before?
I don't think I had it.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's one of those. I mean, if you bide your time and you get lucky, you can get that for $1, and you see it all the time. But a lot of time, it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
So to get a really clean copy of that for like, what'd you say, $3?
Yeah.
That's legit, man.
Yeah. And last week when I went to Greensboro, I dropped the family off at the skate park and I ran because I knew it was going to close in 45 minutes. I just like booked it to the Ed McKay in Greensboro because I like to see what they have in new arrivals.
Did you get a pink lady before you left? You like a pink lady?
I didn't get a pink lady.
I like a pink lady.
But they had this, it's a Camel compilation album.
Now, I've never seen this.
I've never seen it either. It's from like the mid-'80s, like 85.
That's cool.
And it's got cheesy art and cheesy pictures of the band from, I guess, the mid-'80s. But it's got early works on it from like Mirage and the Camel, the self-titled first album.
That's cool.
And it's a great album. It's a great compilation. It's called Camel the Collection, the Collector Series.
That's pretty cool, man.
And
I've never seen that.
yeah, I was really happy to pick it up.
You know, we're talking earlier this week. I mean, either one of us, we've both been looking for Camel Mirage.
Yeah.
And I passed on it one time for like $10, $8 or $10, and kind of ever since then, I wish I wouldn't have.
Just another band I didn't know about until I started getting into this vinyl thing.
Yeah.
Hey, last but not least, I'll mention something like I was telling, I found the 8 tracks and I was going through all this stuff. I also was looking for some MIDI control cables, which I found for the keyboard that I've got.
I have some if you don't.
And the module, it's connected through MIDI. I found them, but I also found some of my son's stuff that he didn't want. And there's this really cool.
Holy shit!
This really cool. It was a bank, but either a friend of his mom's or his uncle Quinto made this. It's Skeletor.
He made it.
He made a lamp out of it.
Oh my god!
And it's pretty darn cool.
Are you serious?
We're gonna show this off.
Yeah, we do.
So, yeah, it's like a Skeletor lamp. You can tell it was a bank because there's a little slot on the back for the coins.
That's what I thought it was.
But no, he made it into a. He cut out the. He cut it open on the bottom and put a little lamp in there and stuff. He did a good job. It's great. It still works.
Man, that is fan-fucking-tastic.
So I set it on top of the keyboard.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna put some like gels in here, like maybe red gels, so it'll come through red.
Evil, like the Devil. Man, that's awesome. I think Skeletor would be a cool tattoo.
I almost want to leave it over here on the set, but I'm like, no, I ain't doing that shit.
You know.
Sorry, dude.
We drink a lot. They get tore up, and then it's like a problem.
But I know you got Castle Grayskull.
I do. I've got a full Castle Grayskull right here below me with like 6, 7, 8 figures. I got all the weapons for Castle Grayskull. He-Man and Skeletor both on Battle Cat and the other creature. So
that's all I got.
Man, shit. Yeah, man, I love things. You guys ever love on things?
Things are good.
Oh man, Larry Coryell and a very unlikely bedfellow, I would say. Well, Kurt Cobain, man. Both tonight we're talking about that business. Both important.
They both start with a C.
Both important. Both important.
Coryell, Cobain.
Nito.
Cobain.
Cobain? Are you having a stroke, Steve? Steve's having a stroke. Hey, folks, I got something I got to say, and so to speak.
I got to pee.
We're going to do some peeing.
I'm an old man. I got to pee.
Well, that'll
can't go an hour 10 without
That'll
peeing.
take 4.5 minutes. So we'll be back here in a minute with a little
We'll be back in 4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes. We'll, so to speak, and chip chat. So you guys stay tuned.
He's the one with the ton of fun.
He's the ace with the crazy face.
A mile of smiles and a laugh and a half. He's the clown that won't let you down.
I'm focused composure, I'm cool perfect clown. I'm radically, emphatically, effectively focused composed. When it goes to pies, I really go bonkers. When the grand prize, I really go bonkers.
Me and all the guys,
we really go bonkers and talk about outrageous things, crazy situations. I sing the bozo, I'm hooting for the clown.
I'm Bobby and I'm nutty.
Pretty crazy, but I'm focused composed.
rocks me.
It's really bonkers. And cookies. Cookies. Way bonkers when he goes on a ride and flies me into orbit.
Bonkers for Bozo.
I'm crazy about that clown. His gracious is outrageous, but wow!
I'm bonkers for Bose.
7 o'clock weekday mornings on Channel 9.
He's the one with a ton of fun.
Once a child wants to spell, the spell is cast. Speak and Spell from Texas Instruments.
That is correct.
With snap-in modules with hundreds more words for growing minds.
You are right.
Speak and Spell, part of a family of products for richer tomorrows from the Learning Center of Texas Instruments. Because a child's tomorrow is never just... Once a child wants to spell, the spell is cast. Speak and Spell from Texas Instruments.
That is correct.
With snap-in modules with hundreds more words for growing minds.
You are right.
Speak and Spell, part of a family of products for richer tomorrows from the Learning Center of Texas Instruments. Because a child's tomorrow is never just...
Can this orphan convert 2 ladies' men into her bachelor fathers?
Leave hot dogs, popcorn, peanuts. I'm gonna throw up.
Introducing Primetime's newest Pops.
What she does? She dots these eyes with these little hearts. Isn't that great?
This fall, Paul Reiser and Greg Evigan are my 2 dads.
Real father and daughter stuff, you know?
One pizza, one pizzone.
What's a pizzone?
The Pizzone. It's back at Pizza Hut. Now get any large pizza for your family and get a Pizzone of your own for only $2.99.
What's a pizzone?
It's a big taste in a big folded pizza crust filled with cheese and luscious ingredients like pepperoni or fresh veggies. Everything deliciously sealed inside and baked to perfection. Plus marinara sauce. Just $2.99 when you buy any large pizza at regular price. No one makes the whole family happy like Pizza Hut.
So this is a pizzone.
Mr. Yuck is mean. Mr. Yuck is green.
Home is full of lots of things that children shouldn't touch. Home is full of bad things that can hurt you very much. Now there's a man whose face is green that you ought to get to know. He'll warn you when danger's coming fast or slow. Get to know his face in every single place. When you see it, you'll know quick. Things marked yuck make you sick. Sick, sick, sick. Sick, sick, sick. Mr. Yuck is mean. Mr. Yuck is green.
Hey folks, thanks for staying with us here on Grown Man Record Night. Oh, we appreciate the MFLNS out of you.
Mr. Yuck.
You guys like to swear?
Now's the time.
Now's the time.
What's on your arm?
What's up? Oh no.
Oh,
it's smeared.
Whatever it was, you smeared it in.
No,
you yuck off, smeared off it in right there.
In Soviet Russia, arm stained you. I have a...
Isn't it great you can watch the show and we don't get into all that bullshit?
I got a substance abuse problem.
Hey, I'm going to come over Sunday.
You gonna come over for?
You don't mind?
None of the Oscars.
You know this marks the anniversary when I actually came on the show. We did an anniversary. We did
the first
we did
one.
an Oscar night special. It was a different show than Friday. We did it on Sunday because the only time they run the damn Oscars is on Sunday.
And your wife kicked you out of the house.
I wish they'd move it to Saturday or.
We just said this about the Super B.
Yeah, the Super B, especially the Super B. And now this Sunday's the what do you call it? The Daytona 500.
Oh yeah.
You're into that.
Junior, baby! Woo! Not really, but I watch it, but I don't. But I do.
You're like everybody. You watch it when they start, and then everybody does something else for 3 hours, and you come back and watch the end of it.
I'm a member of Junior Nation. I like old Junior, because Junior reminds me...
Is he retired?
No, he said if he wins the championship.
Oh, he's still racing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but if, you know.
We interviewed somebody this week.
Reminds me of my old, hey, you know, I met Archie Manning this week.
Archie, talk on that.
I did. I went up to this event that we did for
you went out to do a live shot yesterday.
It was a live shot, and I didn't realize
doing
at
a
the
live
time.
shot.
I didn't realize it at the time, and I rolled up. I got all my gear, and I met our sports guy.
Average, normal.
And I'm like, hey man, what's
shot.
so what's the deal? We're doing the sports thing. I know you're talking at it or whatever. It's like a big deal. And he's like, yeah, Archie's coming in like 5:15. We're gonna do this. And I'm like, Archie who? And he's like, Archie Manning. And he stopped. I was kind of stopped, and we're like, a look on my face, and he's like, you know who Archie Manning is? I'm like, yeah, I know who Archie Manning is. What was like?
Hell yeah.
What are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this thing with Archie Manning. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, what? I just thought you were doing a little talkie. And,
about the GMA.
And Archie Manning walks in, and dude's like, he's a photographer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I shook his hand, talked to him for a second.
What did you say to him?
Friend of mine.
Archie?
Omaha! Omaha!
What if he taught his son Omaha?
I should have said...
Let me tell you something, son. Just say Omaha.
Green 18. Green 18. Well, Aaron Rodgers.
Archie Manning was quite an athlete himself.
Yeah, he
Ole Miss.
I love the Saints.
He brought Ole Miss back into the game of football.
And but he told some stories. Somebody said, "Did you ever been to Greensboro?" And he was like, "No, I don't believe I've ever been to Greensboro. Peyton did a little something down. He used to always do some stuff down in Durham, and I think for some little state thing, Eli, we came down to Rock, and it was like hearing somebody being like, "Oh, me and Billy used to go to Hardee's every Tuesday." But he's like, "Oh, me and Peyton we used to come down to it's Peyton Manning."
Would you care to talk a little more on Archie Manning's touch with the triad at all, or no?
I don't know what it meant.
Was he a lady?
Oh,
no,
no, I don't know about that. I don't know nothing about that.
Okay, then there's more we can't tell you. I'm sorry, but Lord.
I was a small boy. He raped all over me. You guys ever seen anybody rape? You guys familiar with rape? There's a large constituency of rapers. You guys ever seen rapers? There's a channel. You can get a whole channel of rapers that make a channel.
They don't make a channel.
No. You got DirecTV? Or you got Dish. I bet you got Dish.
Actually, I'm a Uverse man.
You a Uverse?
I'm a Uverse.
If you got Vverse, they got a rape channel. You pipe right into it. All the rape you want. 24/7, 80 days a week, rape. So much rape all over it.
Okay.
Let's talk so to speak.
Okay. That's a great segue.
Man,
right into it.
They was trying to slip a little something by us now. Let me tell you something now. A couple weeks ago, I made the point that I think Coca-Cola Zero.
Coke Zero
has the most substantial cola bite.
Doesn't it have more caffeine?
No. Less caffeine than Diet Coke.
Really? I love the bite of Diet Coke.
I think Coke Zero has that cola flavor way more than anything.
Okay.
Not a whole lot of caffeine, and it's diet. It's a Coke Zero. I think that's the most, it's almost a designer cola bite. I've been really impressed by that. That being said, I said this like a couple weeks ago on the show. So, for the last few years, I've been a big fan of Pepsi Max.
What's Pepsi Max again?
Pepsi Max came out in 2009. You may remember it. I think it debuted during the Super Bowl, ironically enough. And it was all these like
wacky
people
ass.
They were all falling asleep while they were doing something, and then it was like Pepsi Max.
So does the Max mean caffeine?
It does, or Max Taste is what they say. But they never just straight up come out and be like, this shit's got a dick load of caffeine in it. They never say that. So they had this thing called Pepsi Max, and I understood it, but for the people that are sodically stupid,
Sodically?
because it didn't say Diet Pepsi, people didn't realize that Pepsi Max was a sugar-free product. So the sales tanked.
Oh.
Now, do I like it as much as Coke Zero? No.
It's got ginseng root extract.
But here's the thing. Pepsi Max, or now Pepsi Zero Sugar, has more caffeine than a Mountain Dew.
It's got 69
69
milligrams
per 12.
Per 12.
Mountain Dew is 54 per 12.
Pepsi
Not to
Zero.
mention, this
Max
doesn't have the
taste.
citric acid that a Mountain Dew that would eat the shit out of your teeth enamel.
Yeah.
This is a cola we're talking here.
Okay.
So a lot more.
So
of
a high caffeinated cola.
high
with no
caffeinated
calories.
cola. But they did not promote the
I will
high
tell you-
caffeination.
Let me tell you something though. I don't like the taste of Pepsi, as opposed to Coke.
Okay. Now see, I like
too sweet.
I like Diet Coke. I like Pepsi regular.
Okay.
This has that bite of a cola with a shit ton of caffeine. People that were unwilling, unable to recognize that Pepsi Max was a diet product. So, this past Super Bowl, they have completely changed their name. They are now They are now Pepsi Zero Sugar. Can we hold that guy up or get close? Pepsi Zero Sugar. This is the same shit that used to be Pepsi Max, and they had a.
So they haven't changed the formula.
No.
They just changed the name. It's
No.
Pepsi Zero Sugar, but they did leave in Max Taste.
Max Taste to kind of point you back to that. I've loved this stuff, and I love it because in a pinch, if I got even just a can of this or a glass of this in the refrigerator, that will save me from a early morning like shit. I don't have any caffeine. It's a quick cup of coffee substitute because it's got quite a bit of caffeine in it. Like I said, the only thing that has this much caffeine in it is Sundrop if they have those in your area. There is nothing that has this much
Sundrop's
caffeine.
high?
69, 68.
Really?
Within more than Mountain Dew.
What about Mellow Yellow? Mellow Yellow's got more than Mountain Dew.
It's right in there. It's not as much as this.
See, that's just so sweet.
You don't like that? No sugar.
It just seems so wrong.
You don't like it?
I kind of like it, but it seems so wrong because it doesn't have any sugar. But it's so sweet.
No sugar. Artificially sweet. And a fuck ton of caffeine.
It's aspartame.
Yeah, it is.
I just don't like the taste of Pepsi. I'll be honest with you.
But keep this in mind. Balance that taste because I do prefer the Coke Zero over this. I told you this. But there's also, Coke Zero is like 30 some milligrams per 12.
What are you doing?
This is 69 per 12. It's double.
So you're just out there drinking soda looking for drugs.
No, but
Okay.
there is a time, 60% of the time,
Well, you need it.
I am. 60% of
You
the time.
need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's early in the morning. You gotta get to work, and instead of a cup of coffee, you're gonna drink a soda. It's a lot easier. You just pop a top.
So I hope it maintains at least because it's good.
It is good.
Is it the best? No, but it's good. And with the
I feel like
caffeine,
I'm
you
sitting
can't beat because nobody puts that much caffeine in a freaking cola.
I feel like I'm sitting on Grandma Jones's porch watching the boats go down the Ohio River, drinking this Pepsi Zero Sugar.
There's a large tornado threat in the Ohio Valley this evening. I hope it doesn't affect anybody you're close to.
Okay. I hope not. I have a lot of loved ones in that area.
We'll be right back.
Switzerland County.
That was my Chris Berman.
That's your news segue going to break. There's nothing funny about anything.
And at 69.
Let me get out of here as quickly as possible. We'll be right back.
And at 69 years old, we lose Ed Too Tall Jones. We'll be right back. All right, good so to speak. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. What did we decide to do for Chip Chat this evening?
I decided, I brought a couple of things and we have something here.
Okay.
But I think this is a topical subject, so I'm gonna go with this one.
Let's do it. I trust your judgment.
The good friends at PepsiCo, the Frito-Lay company,
sure,
have come out with a really clean product, and they have two Simply products. There's Simply Doritos and Simply Lays.
This is gonna be right up Cameraman's alley.
I could not bring the Simply Doritos. The family had to hork them, and for good measure, they're not as good as the standard Doritos. My wife just loves when it's just all that stuff on
the
there.
powder.
This is a cleaner product.
And when I look in the back, I always hear Mr. Hand saying, "Get a good one," because you look for the one that's got the most stuff.
See, I'm not that guy. I like it cleaner, like Cameraman.
Oh.
And this is right up the alley. The Simply products. This is Simply Lays, and it says sea salted, thick cut potato chips.
So not kettle necessarily.
No. This is thick cut. This is like yeah.
Very cool. I thought.
And ingredient wise, we're talking. What are we talking about here? Ingredients: potatoes, expeller pressed sunflower oil, and sea salt. So that's it.
You know, Steve, I've recently thought, and let's talk serious here for a minute. I got a little grown man money saved up, and I'm starting to think about the next
big chip.
That is a big chip. The next portion of my life, and I actually considered this because of my allegiance. What if for the next? I've always wanted to be a farmer.
A farmer. It's a hard life.
It's a hard life.
Dude, you don't know how hard it is.
But no, I grew up on a farm. I know the deal. A smaller farm. And I also talk about one of the most fun days when I was a kid was.
It's a throwback chip.
Tater Day. It was better than Easter egg hunting because the whole family would come over. They'd put on their tater shoes, roll up their pants legs, get out in the field. My grandpa would drive over the field and turn the dirt over.
Yep.
And then you would find potatoes.
Turn the rows up, and that's when you dig the potatoes.
You find the potatoes all over.
Yeah.
Such a
he pulls it with a tractor with his hoe.
Yeah. You'd see the top of it, and you'd dig it up and be like, "Oh my God, it's that big! It's that big!" It was so crazy.
Why are we talking about that?
Because I'm thinking, like, I want to be a farmer when I get enough money to be able to do so.
What do you think about this chip?
I'm gonna do that.
These are great.
Tastes like old school Lays.
Like a Charles chip.
The old school Lays before they got stupid.
I don't know. Old school Lays are always greasy though. These
are pretty greasy.
Well, but they're thick. There's a lot of potato flavor. There's not a lot of other things going on.
Yeah. I like them. I love them.
Straight up chip.
I want some more of them. My point was, I want to be a farmer. I want to raise potatoes. And I want to take those potatoes and make a locally grown and produced potato chip.
Okay.
Here. And I want to do that for a living.
Okay.
I want to be the North Carolina potato chip
We'll
guy.
eat them on your show.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you try these.
These are great.
Simply Lays. I didn't see a lot of flavors. This is sea salted, thick cut potato chip. The other one was the Dorito. It's just a Dorito, and it's like a Dorito, but it's a lot less of the powder on it.
Ingredient list on this again?
Potatoes, salt, and oil.
Terrific.
I think the oil is sunflower oil. Or safflower, whatever the fuck that is.
And pretty thick. It's a little thicker than it tastes like a Lay's, but it's thicker than a Lay's.
Have you ever given your girlfriend a safflower? Oh wait, there's also Simply Ruffles.
If that's Greek for abortion.
And Simply Puffs and Simply Tostitos. I think the two best are the Simply Doritos and the Simply Lays.
That's great.
Don't mess with the others.
No, that's a great chip, man.
Maybe the Ruffles.
Maybe.
I'm not a Puffs fan. I'm a crunchy fan, so I don't care about Puffs.
I don't care about anything, Steve. It's what makes me a nihilist.
These chips are great.
It's
and it's a
great
good dip chip because it's a thick chip.
That's what I was thinking. It tastes like a Lay's, but it's got a little more.
Get you a French onion, or you know what? Make the King's cheese ball.
Yeah, no, it won't handle that.
You don't think it'll handle the cheese ball?
No, sir.
What if you heat up the cheese ball?
No.
You don't want cheese. You don't want
dill. The dill is a little looser. I would recommend that with the dill.
The dill dip?
Way before I would the King's cheese
You dip
ball.
your dill in it?
I would dip my dill in it. I don't know what I'm saying. I have what you call a substance abuse problem. Where's your empathy, brother?
Hey, we made it through another show.
We went all the way through it.
How long was this one?
It was 10 minutes, 10 seconds, and 220 frames.
Okay.
And that's 99 cents up to 20 minutes.
At RGB.
Yeah. If you ever want to trust...
I tried to tell my son, you got to change his phone number. I said, why don't you just go 10, 10, 220?
Huh? Just call me Collect, bro. It's no big
Just
deal.
reverse the charges, man.
It's no big deal. Hey, thanks for joining us for Grown Man Record Night. Like I say, unfortunately, there won't be a program next weekend because I'm going to be on call. Y'all know how that bullshit falls.
That's why I had to get over here.
Yeah, Steven,
I hadn't been here in a couple weeks.
And if he didn't come this
3
week,
weeks.
it'd be another week. So, in
Had to
2
be.
weeks, we're going to come back with some just bonker shit. And I still gonna
Maybe not.
I'm going to still have it. We could all die. Borscht. That's tuna submarine sandwich right there. You ever ordered one of those? You say, give me.
I love a good tuna
Give me
sub.
one of the tuna submarine sandwiches.
I don't put onions on. I don't put onions on.
I didn't put onion on this one. I just put a little bit of lettuce. That's all it was.
About some cheese, some spinach
American.
sometimes, a little mustard.
Yeah.
Jalapeno.
I wish somebody would do tuna salad with mustard instead of mayonnaise.
Why don't you do it?
You ever seen the cost? Tuna cost. Thanks for joining us at Grown Man Record Night. We'll see 2 weeks from now. And until
what
then,
are you going to do?
Until then, you guys catch up with us on our YouTube channel.
Enjoy the darn Oscars, whatever.
Yeah. And,
I'm not going to watch it.
Catch up with us on our YouTube, and in 2 weeks we'll come back with a brand new record program. So we appreciate the shit out of everybody. Worst. And we'll see you next time here on another live Grown Man Record Night.
It'd be cool if I could bring my PS4 and your PS4 and we could play at the same time.
I thought maybe we could beat a game. We got to pick a game. We'll beat it Sunday.
We'll try that.
Just beat a game.